Hey everyone, this is Nitro. So it's new Monday and it's time for another Nitro setup video. And in this video, I am going to be covering pretty much what has changed with my account over the past week, because there were quite a few significant changes due to me getting a sponsored Echoes of Light. So let's begin by covering, though, as always, the Dragon Farm results. Okay. And of course the crystal count and all that good stuff. So in terms of the crystal voucher status, I honestly do not know how much it increased, okay? All I know is that last week I had 69 vouchers and 14,242 crystals on Monday. Today, I have 58 vouchers and 1,284 crystals because I drew like crazy on the Lodos War banner. So the actual increase from doing world map events, time rifts, and all that good stuff, I truly don't know what I got, okay? All I know is I spent $189 and drew 431 times. That's all the information I can give you, okay? So a huge number of draws is what this means, okay? Maybe you can reverse calculate it, given that I did 431 draws, but you still wouldn't know how much increase I got from doing, let's say, time riff and all that stuff. So there was definitely a huge increase in the number of vouchers I had because of, as I said, time riff, giving the new time riff, World 14, being released. But ultimately, I really don't know just exactly how much vouchers I actually got. In any case, other than that, in terms of equipment farming, last week I had 7 SSRs. It was one of the lower weeks. And then this past week, I had 10. So first things first, from the Echoes of Light accessory, because I did purchase up to getting that one, I actually got my very first pair of Divine Boots on Thursday. So I guess some good luck, but I don't know if I need Divine Boots at this point. I guess it could be an alternate piece of gear for Juggler, maybe? But other than that, I don't really have a use for it, I feel. You know, so, because after all, Juggler can use Blood Pact, he can use Overlord's Badge, he can use Divine Boots, he can use Swordsmith Metal. You know, there's so many accessories Juggler can use. But it's not really a priority for me to build, you know. If I used Vargas, for example, the defense increase and mobility increase is probably the best item possible for Vargas. But I don't use Vargas. So we'll see what I do with that one, the Divine Boots here. Monthly accessory, I purchased it. It was a drop near, useless, right? Anarchy Lotto, I didn't get any SSR. And I also did my 2 memory shard purchases as well, because I was hoping to get better gear in preparation for the Apex Arena this week. I got a Holy Ring and a Blood Pact. I've kept both, but they're all both sitting in my inventory, in my bag right now, right? So, you know, I was hoping to get maybe a Swordsmith Medal or something similar. Didn't happen. So we'll see. In some ways, in the long term, this may have been a bad purchase because I probably should have waited for the Record of Lodos War equipment banner before doing these accessory purchases. But at the end of the day, you know, it's one random draw. Just because I waited or whatever, it's not guaranteed to get me the accessory I want later. So it's, yeah, it is what it is. Now, so Trails in Time, second chapter items, right? They were all pretty much received the week before, but the one that I did receive last week was the Star Earring. So I got another Star Earring. You know, Star Earring seems to be becoming a good piece of gear for your mages in general, because they give them 30% defense increase, right? Allowing them to potentially survive the Assassin Strike. So I've kept it, you know, but I'm not building it at this time. Next then, let's move on after this. So, weekly items, Timeless Trials gave me a Holy Grail last week. You know, I sweep for it now, so there's no longer a video where they show up anymore. But it was a Holy Grail, I don't know, whatever. Garbage, basically. Gambles I did on a video last week, so I'm going to skip those. And from the dailies and joint battles and world events and so on, well, the 10 items, surprisingly got 3 of them that I would keep, although I'm not using, right? I got a second Flower Boon Bonnet. I got another Fury of Tear, which is my 7th one now. And then I got Fujin's Wing, which raises my currently existing Fujin's Wing to level 30. I'll probably build one to level 50, so as I collect them, I'll slowly raise one up. But after that, I'm going to order them. As you guys know, I like to keep at least one copy of every piece of gear in case a future hero might need them. So that's why I'm just slowly building one up. And in the first place, I have so many mages and so on, so it's not like I have nobody to equip this piece of item to, even if it's just a temporary gear for them to use. So the rest of those 10 items were all ored, so it was turned into 700 additional ore. And I also did 3 random accessory box purchases, did not give me a single SSR accessory, so we'll see how it goes. So that is the results of my dragon farming and whatnot last week. Alright, so now let's move on to talk about a new addition that I'm going to add to this, which is, money spent and summoning status. Money spent, I've gone over in multiple videos already. I've spent $188 so far, need to spend 90 more to get the Echoes of Light. But the new addition will be the summoning status, which I'm going to do, I guess, every time I do summoning, right? And it's what you see on the screen right now. So this is just a compilation of some of the results of my summoning. Not every single one, but a significant portion of them. And I've separated into the equipment banner section and the hero banner section, right? So for the equipment banner section, what I've gotten so far is 293 summons and 11 SSRs. That's a 3.75 SSR rate on equipment banners, which I guess, I don't know if it's high or low, but this is just my reported rate, okay? So it was 93 summons on the Chaos in Time banner, and that was the worst luck one. I got 2 clothesline pulls. I was hoping to get a Bracer emblem there, but I didn't get any, and I ran out of draws at that time. On the Sacred Wars banner, I was aiming for a teddy bear, and I managed to get one. Actually, I was aiming for either a teddy bear or the Aqualine Ghost Blade, right? The one that Leonhardt uses now. Failed to get the Ghost Blade, got a teddy bear, and I quit as soon as I got the teddy bear. I got 3 of the Kagekidan uniforms, which aren't very useful. I've kept 2, but I fed 1 into another one, so I have a level 30. Actually, I think I have a level 50 Kagekidan uniform now, and a level 21. Finally, for the Viking gear, because I have no other name for it, it was not linked to a specific collaboration or anything, so I just called it the Viking gear, based on the name of the gear that you get. There was, it was like Fury of Tear, Giant's Resistance, Fujin's Wing. It's all Viking mythology. So, in any case though, from that one, I did 80 draws, got 5 SSRs, and of those 5, there were 3 Furies of Tear, 1 Giant Resistance, and 1 off-banner item. I don't even remember what I was aiming for on that Viking banner. I think I was aiming for Fury of Tear. So the fact that I got 3 of them made me pretty happy. Oh no, I remember now. I was trying to get a Mimir's War Axe. Didn't get that. But once again, I wasn't willing to spend more on the banner. So you can see overall, even though I get SSRs on these banners, it's not really the ones that you truly want. I'm still missing the Mimir's War Axe for Yusuke, right? I still don't have an Aqualine Ghostblade or Demon Slayer. And while I did manage to get a Sorceress Medal later on, I failed to get a Bracer emblem on that first equipment banner. So it's like, these equipment banners need you to spend a lot of money to get the gear that you actually want, clearly. Or just get very lucky. And I haven't had much luck there. But there will be the Record of Lodoss War equipment banner soon. I put a prediction date of the 21st. That's not guaranteed. It may be this week as well. And I will probably draw on it, but we'll see. I'm still not sure because I also have to consider the fact that I need to have some savings for Ares and Maya, right? My goal is to get at least one of them, Ares or Maya. So if I don't have any savings for that banner, I would be completely screwed. So we'll see. We'll plan that out later. I still have $90 to spend. That's a decent chunk of vouchers. I think like around, let's say 5,000 to 6,000 crystals. So yeah. With regards to hero banners then, I'm not going to go over my summoning results in as much detail like this in future videos. Just this one because It's the first time I'm doing it. So, hero banner summon wise, let's see. We go all the way back to the Sakura and Sumire banner. That was all the way back in September. And I started at this banner because I've kept clear results of these from this point on. Before this point, I basically had the in-game counter of reaching 2,000 summons for keeping track of things, so I didn't really keep that much details. But since then, we lost that in-game counter, so I've had to keep careful count of how many draws I've done on every single banner, as well as the results. So Sakura and Sumire took me 81 draws for 2 SSRs. I was very lucky there, got both Sakura and Sumire. The irony is I don't use either one. So even though I got very lucky, ultimately it was basically wasted draws. Okay. The Celestial and Claret banner was where I did pretty major summoning on it because I wanted Claret. Okay. 130 draws, 4 SSRs, but they were 2 Celestial, 1 D-Heart, and 1 Shuri. It sucked. It really did. So 2 characters on banner, 2 characters off banner. All of them were basically useless. And so I was just like, oh, screw it. I abandoned it because I knew Yulia and Omega were coming up. Yulia and Omega actually continued that bad luck spree. It took me 300 summons to get 1 Yulia. Okay. I got 6 Omega, 1 Leon before I finally got Yulia. Just for the record. Leon was a duplicate of a character I had at 6 stars already, so it was useless. But it was interesting because 8 SSRs on 300 draws it's quite a high rate in terms of SSRs. But it did take me 300 summons to get 1 copy of Yulia, so it was pretty terrible in that sense, you know. Good luck or bad luck, hard to say. So, but nonetheless, the 6 Omegas made me decide to build up Omega to 6 stars, and you know what? I don't really regret using him. You know, my original plan was to completely ignore Omega and just use Yulia, but that banner changed things, and Omega turned out to be much better than I expected. Moving on. From then on, I was completely broke, from what I remember, and I started saving up instead of drawing. On Young Jessica and Emilia, 20 summons got me Young Jessica. And on these kind of 2 character banners that I'm not particularly interested in building, I just draw for one of the 2 heroes. So once I got Young Jessica, goodbye, I quit. Right? If it was Emilia in 20 summons or whatever, I would have quit at the same point too. Interestingly enough, I end up using Young Jessica, right? My Young Jessica is now, I think, 4 stars, and I do use her, right? Occasionally. So that was another, I guess, blessing in disguise. The thing to note is I did actually raise Young Jessica to 4 stars because it only took, you get 15 shards of a hero when you do their Gate of Fate. So it took 35 shards. I think during an 18 Gate of Fate event, I just grinded her up to 4 stars and then just stopped there. So Young Jessica is, and even at 4 stars, she's actually been okay, right? You see her, you see me use her occasionally at 4 stars. So let's move on. Yusuke and Kurama. This was the banner I was saving for after the massive draws on Yulia and Omega, right? That's why I barely spent anything. I didn't spend anything in, I think, December. Barely spent anything in January, all in preparation for Yusuke and Kurama. And it was another banner that let me down. 362 draws, 6 SSRs, and it went 3 Kurama, 1 D-Hearto, 1 Celestial, and then 1 Yusuke. Right. I actually spent all my existing draws and failed to get Yusuke because of the off banners, but whatever I collected afterwards, I continued to draw on, and I eventually did get myself a Yusuke. It was desperation mode, though, for sure. I think I did close to 300 summons during the banner, and then afterwards, yeah. It was 300 summons with 90 summons done before that. So I was already on the pity rate. And I still didn't get Yusuke. It was just really bad luck. Okay, that was probably... It's interesting. Reviewing this now, I've generally actually had pretty bad luck on these banners. You know, like I get good luck occasionally, but then I know I think I had pretty good luck on the Leonhard and Rene banner back in the day too. But, you know, Yulia and Omega was bad luck. Yusuke and Kurama was bad luck, although thankfully I had saved up enough so that I did eventually get Yusuke. And then on Hiei and Toguro Bros, my luck turned because it being good. 30 draws gave me 1 Hiei, I quit right there. I literally just wanted Hiei, you know. And after Yusuke and Kurama, I had barely any savings. So the fact that I got the Hiei in 30 draws paid off, you know. I don't have a Hiei built right now but I'm probably going to start building him at this point, right? It was one of those things, one of the situations which made me realize that getting a character and being able to actually build up that character are entirely different things. Okay. So after February, I was broke, right? But I started saving up. I get around 2,500 crystals per week. So by the Mystery Knight and Virash banner, which was a month after Yusuke and Kurama, I had enough savings that I could do 170 draws on Mystery Knight and Virash banner. Okay. It was split up, I think. I think I did some draws at the beginning and then some draws near the end of the banner, right? But because I was hoping to get Mystery Knight. But I got Virash, and then I was getting pretty close to my pity rate again, so I gave up on this banner, right? Got one of the 2 heroes, you know what? Let's give up. It's not worth getting multiple copies of Virash. I think that was my decision there. And that moves us into April. Akaya and Brenda. That was a good banner, right? So after the pretty crappy Mystery and Virash banner, Akaya and Brenda gave me both heroes in a short number of draws, right? I think I was pretty close to pity rate though, due to the Mystery Knight and Virash banner. So on Akaya and Brenda, 90 draws got me 2 Brendas first, then 1 Akaya, right? And Akaya was really the hero I wanted, so I was quite happy there. Of course, the irony is even though I got Akaya, I ended up not using her at all. So in some ways, this is more of a waifu draw. It was kind of a waste, but I also knew that I had some decent amount of savings, so I could waste some draws. And that takes us to the Lodoss War banner, where thanks to the Echoes of Lights, I drew way more on this banner than any other banner in the past, 431. Now, if you watched my summoning video, you saw that I got Deedlit in my first 10 summon, and I did 100 summons in total in that summoning, and I got Astram as well. But after that, I did even more draws. So those were not recorded because they were kind of an impulse draw. I did them on my tablet. So I probably should have waited till I got onto my PC so that I could record it. So my apologies there. But in total, all those draws gave me 9 SSRs on 431 draws. And when you actually calculate that out, 9 divided by 431 is actually a 2.08 or 2.09% SSR rate. So even though I started very strong on the banner, I think I got 4 SSRs and 60 draws. Over time, this banner completely balanced out. Right? As I drew more and more, it got closer and closer to the 2% rate instead. And at this point, I have listed coming this week the Destiny Summon for Rainforce. This specific banner has Rainforce and 2 heroes I already have, Wyler and Geralt and Layla. I think they are. So Rainforce, Wyler, Geralt and Layla. And because I already have the other 2, I'm guaranteed to get Rainforce as my first SSR. So I have listed 50 draws on that already because I actually did 50 more draws on Record of Lodoss War. So I'm actually at 481 draws here. But since I didn't get any SSR, this is my 50 draws towards the pity rate. I'm guaranteed to get an SSR in the next 50 draws, which will definitely be Rainforce. So that's why I just listed that there for now. Okay, given it's heading towards the pity rate rather than final results of Lodoss War. And in total, for these draws, when you add them up, it adds up to 1,664 draws. Done. Of those, I actually got 35 SSRs. So this comes out to a 2.1% SSR rate, which is around the norm, the 2%, a bit higher than the 2% rate, but very close to it, you know. And overall, it's a decent mix of SSRs, but there were definitely hits and misses, right? Whenever I get a hero that I want, I usually quit, and then whenever I don't get the hero I want, I seem to have to draw either an insane amount before I get that hero. So the one thing you can say about me getting lucky, I suppose, is that I haven't really gotten very many duplicates of characters I've had at 6 stars, like Leon, for example, or Bozol, or other characters that I've built. So part of that is because I haven't really built a lot of heroes to 6 stars previously. But the other part of this is I've had decent luck in that sense too. And as a side note, the only reason I built Illustrial up to 6 stars is because, I drew so many copies of her. There's 2 copies here from Illustrial and Claret, and I think another copy here from Yusuke and Kurama. And it just got to the point where, combined with the fact that I had Illustrial at with her 15 shards done from her Gate of Fate clear, I just felt that it was worth building her up to 6 stars at that point for her Ignore Guard skill. And it's working out. In fact, Illustrial is almost always a first or second character banned in my party, right? It's very rare that I actually get to play Illustrial. So clearly people don't like letting me have Ignore Guard characters, and they just ban Illustrial as one of my first characters along with Zerida. And that's it. So that is the summoning results that have occurred so far with my account. So now let's move on to talk about the next part of my account, which is to actually jump into the game and cover things that have actually happened there, right? So let's move on to talk about the in-game events that are currently running first of all. And let me just change my view over to the game view. Okay, so currently running events, just a friendly reminder to mix. There is that crossover special event where you should grab your daily reward for logging in, right? You only need to log in for 5 days, so I've already gotten them all, and the event still runs for 2 more days. So make sure to grab all of these events if you haven't. Other than the crossover event, there's also the Snuck In Redeem Points event that I did a video on. Right? It's running to the 15th, and I'm very much on track for this event, right? You basically have to do 36 of these events to finish everything, and you can either do all 6 for 6 days, or you can do 36 over 7 days, right? So 7 times 6 is 42, you need 36, so you can skip 6 of the events. So I've started skipping the complete Trinity voucher summon part, so I'll basically get 5 additional vouchers for Thursday's summoning. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is complete Anarchy Gym, complete Goddess Trial, purchase Stamina every day, complete Bonding Realm, and first daily World Arena battle. And actually, as a side note, it's actually not World Arena, it's Regular Arena. That's a typo there. So as long as you do your Regular Arena, one of the matches here every day, you're going to get that puzzle piece for the redeem points thing. Next thing to mention as well, you see in the mail section that I had a strategy squad gift of 20 Trinity vouchers. I continue to trade my points for doing videos for vouchers, right? I'm trying to keep up my vouchers to support all my massive spending, and I'm going to be purchasing this every single month from here on. So June, I'm going to purchase this. July, I'm going to purchase this. August, I'm going to purchase this, and so on. It's actually preventing me from getting the chibi figurine of Tieris that some of the other strategy squad members have, like Anirel and so on. So I still don't have the figurine of Tieris because I'm too busy buying vouchers. And other than that, from strategy squad, I also got, 1,700 Trinity crystals this month. So I've already spent that. So you can see just how many draws I've done on Record of Lodoss War, as I keep saying. Alright, and that's the current events. And worth mentioning as well is this Thursday, there will be a new event, an actual Secret Realm event for Record of Lodoss War. So Trails in Time, second chapter. The event officially ends on Wednesday, right? You can still trade things in until the 20th, but the event is over. You can't do any more missions. You can't clear these, grind these battles. You're just trading for resources for an extra week. And yeah, for that Trails in Time second chapter event, I finished it. I've exchanged for everything I wanted except for the workout machine selection, the muscle strengthening selection, and the Royal Guardian skin because I already have it. But everything else I've already acquired. So I'm done with this event. Long done, really. And then I'm looking forward to the event that starts on Thursday. Hero shard farming, right? It's changed because I finished Shafaniel and Weiler in time for the playoffs last week, right? They were done on Wednesday, so that on Thursday I was able to have my start grinding new characters. And what I'm grinding right now is, of course, Yusuke. It's going to be 99 shards. It's still another 33 days, right? Deedlit, who is even longer, significant, although not longer by much. It's, 123 shards? So 123 shards divided by 3 is 41 days. So Deedlit, because of all the massive amount of vouchers I put into the banner, she's going to be finished at 6 stars pretty soon. So I look forward to that because I can actually use her consistently in PvP. And other than Deedlit, there is also Ashram, who I'm planning to build, given he's at 50 out of 150. Right? He's going to take longer, and I'm going to have to wait because he's not a top priority character for me to build. Instead, the third character that I'm going to prioritize now, I decided it will be Hiei. I really like my assassins, and Hiei is an especially powerful assassin, right? Given that he can launch an AoE attack first, then do an ignore guard attack. So Hiei is going to be my character of choice for grinding. After Hiei, I'm probably looking at Gizerov, and then we'll go from there, right? Probably as I do Gizerov, I'm going to start on Lestel. But that's things to worry about in the future, maybe like 2 months later or a month and a half later, so I don't have to worry about it right now. Lots of characters to grind, and of course, these plans will change. Depending on whether I get more off-banner Diharto or more off-banner Shafaniel, more off-banner Angelina, I'm very likely to build these two characters up, right? Both are very, very useful. Angelina and Diharto. So, at least for me. So, there's other characters here that I plan to eventually upgrade, but they're not top priority at the end of the day. Maybe via those 18 Gate of Fate events, I'll slowly upgrade them. But once again, they're not my grind targets of choice. Just too many other characters to do. So PvE characters like Young Jessica, like Lestel, like Young Jessica, like Renee, and like Leonhard are basically abandoned. Okay. I'm aware that Leonhard can be used for PvP at 6 stars, but the only way I could get him to 6 stars is if I actually successfully get a copy of him from summoning Rise of the Enforcers, and no. I'm too short on vouchers. There's no way for me to fit him in. So yeah, he's abandoned until further notice. Maybe if he gets a really, really good 3C, I might choose to finish him off. Okay, let's move on. So many things to talk about right now. In terms of equipment, the draws, I'm not going to do it on stream for this month, unfortunately. I'll report the results in next week's video. Or maybe film it and then clip it into next week's video. And that's because I'm hoping to be able to do these draws when the equipment banner is up, right? So with the equipment banner up, you might have a chance of getting them from picking up these items. So that's why I'm not picking them up right now. So I'll do them on Thursday. And in terms of SSR gear that I need, it's still exactly the same items. I really, really need a Mimir's War Axe. I really need a second Uller's Bow that will go on Illustrial. And I really need more extreme magic bows. Like for example for Hiei, right? If I use Hiei, he would need one. If I use Joshua, he would need one, so on and so forth. So the rest of the items like Demon Slayer, that's primarily meant for Leonhard and so on, and I'm not using Leonhard, in part because I don't have one as well. So yeah, all the other weapons I don't care about. Armors is just, getting more last rites will always help me. That's mainly it. Tenyo's robes will be nice to have, but I don't think I'm going to build one, even if I get one, because of lack of red ore, column ore. And then headgear, it continues to be the same. More King's Crowns, maybe a Soul Stealer headdress, more Tenyo's headdresses, especially Tenyo's headdresses. Really need more Tenyo's headdresses, stuff like that. Accessory wise, I'm still looking for one more Juggler plushie, one Apex boots, although I care less about these now because I'm eliminating Elwyn from my Apex party. So it's mainly now just Juggler plushie and Swordsmith Metal. Those are the two that I want more of. And of course, the new upcoming item with the Record of Lodoss War banner. As many of those as I can get to. So it would be just these items. These two and the new Record of Lodoss War items for accessories. Don't really care about the rest at all. Memory shards in the store. Okay. This, because I did a ridiculous amount of summons, let's see how many shards I can extract. Right? Look at this. 100, 60, 120, 130, 100, 140, 60, 76, 120, 20, 30, 60, 80, 100, 20. And these are just the SSR characters. So let's select all. 14,245 memory essence. Insane. Let's extract it. Normally, if I do like 100 or 100 summons or something, you get like 4,000. So clearly I've done an insane amount of summons on this banner. 14,245. Wow. Well, that sets me up to purchase the SSR accessories for next month. And I could pick up the Runestone if I need it, but I still have 6 on hand, so I'm not going to. I could even purchase the Epic Martial Spirits right now, if I'm desperate for them. Crazy. Right? So, tons of memory essence used. I can definitely get more gear if I need it, but let's hold off on this for now. You can use this almost any time, and it disappears fast, really. So, I'm going to quickly, because this is the video after a major update, I'm going to show, I guess, my galleries, right? So, hero gallery wise, I'm missing Emilia and Mystery Knight and Langrisser 1, all characters. Langrisser 2, all characters. Langrisser 3, all the characters. Langrisser 4, all the characters. Langrisser 5, missing Rainforest, who I will get this week. So, it's just these two, really. And as for the crossover galleries, well, I have Record of Lodoss War, I have everyone, right? I'm missing Parn right now, but I will get him shortly. Yu Yu Hakusho, right? I only drew for Hiei, so I don't have the Toguro Bros. Sakura Wars, I got all 3. And then Trails in the Sky, I got all of them. And then, well, Apex playoffs wise, you all know I was eliminated and ended up in the top 128. So I am just a viewer of matches now. And I'll probably, just watch the matches from here on out. We'll see. I plan to do a few analysis videos of some of the matches that have occurred so far. So I'll try to fit those in this week, hopefully. Ones that show some of the more interesting characters. The characters that are not commonly used. If you have any matches you think I should do an analysis of, let me know. Because, as I said, there's a lot of matches in the first 2 days. The ones I'm currently looking at, though, is I'm planning to do an analysis video on the match that occurred in Group M. Between Maynard and Gull, because that was interesting, quite interesting. We got to see both. We got to see Angelina being used in a very unique way, and Gaul used Ashram quite a bit. Okay, so let's move on to talk about any gear adjustments I've made. So far, I'm looking at maybe trying out Divine Boots on Juggler rather than his current Overlord's badge, because nobody is using mobility reduction hits on my Juggler. So maybe that one additional movement will allow Juggler to get into range better to use his Sacred Beast him. That's my thought right now. And so we'll see how that goes. Right. I mean, yes, Juggler can get mobility debuffed by things like Goddess's Left Hand, but I think it's a risk that I have to adjust for. Especially since most people use Swordsmith Metal on Juggler. So this is just my first adaptation towards that, since I don't have a Swordsmith Metal for my Juggler right now. And I think that was pretty much it. There's been no gear changes to my main characters because I haven't gotten any new pieces of gear for them, right? I mean, I built Deedlit, but I already demoed her setup previously. So, you know, she doesn't have perfect enchants yet, right? This really should be 15% int, for example. And then, you know, I focus more on defense increases on my Deedlit right now rather than hit points. So we'll see. You know, I could maybe try to reroll for both defense, hit points, and int, but that is going to be pretty pricey. So yeah, but I will probably reroll this Fury of Tyr a bunch more to try to get defense and hit points. But so far, she looks pretty solid in terms of build, right? Quite a high amount of attack and defense, really. And in fact, that actually helps support the Star Earring, because when battling against assassins and archers, your defense increases by 30%. So high defense is the way to go for my Deedlit enchants, although I do want more hit points than she currently has. Nonetheless, she's been surviving, she has not died yet, so that's a lower priority upgrade than some of my other characters. And the final thing to talk about would be the status of my SR characters. So, SR characters, I think everybody is complete except for Serena now. And even Serena, from doing the insane number of draws I did, is now at 95 out of 150. So I still need 3 more copies of Serena, and my final SR that I don't have to grind will be done. So characters who do need to actually be grinded, of course, would be the collaboration SRs, right? For example, that would include Iris, who is at 5 stars. And I'm just going to hope for a Sakura Wars event to come back to get her to 6 stars, because there's no way I ever have time to grind 135 shards of Iris. But other than Iris, there's also Kurabara, who is at 5 stars, right? And I guess Pyrotes. So there's going to be 3 collaboration SRs, none of which will be grinded. There is Olivier, but you don't get to grind his shards. He's just like Angelica, where doing world events and time rift maps and so on will unlock you shards until eventually they hit 6 stars. Angelica, as a side note, is an interesting character. I've been maybe considering potentially building Angelica to try her out in Apex Arena. I don't know, we'll see. The main reason for that would be because A, Yusuke can get faction buffed by Angelica, and B, Angelica's summon can be suicided so that Yusuke will get a buff, right? You can create the summons, suicide the summons into poison, and then Yusuke will be buffed to hit harder for her attacks, or for his attacks. So the whole problem, so that was an interesting idea I had about maybe building up Angelica. The whole problem with that, of course, is how do you fit Angelica into your party? You know, I'm barely able to use my existing party of characters. How can you fit another faction buffer in? I don't know. But it's just a thought I had in my mind. You know, I may just abandon it given the amount of resources you have to commit to upgrading a hero. So we'll see. And that is everything about my account at this time. You know, this is more or less a major status update, and you know, if you want to see additional details about each of my individual heroes, you can really just refer to my previous video on my party, right? That is because I haven't done that many significant changes to my existing party. I've been building new characters instead. So the videos that I did on all my characters after season 2 playoffs are still very, very valid. I'll have a link to that specific playlist if you're interested in checking out details about all my other heroes, and that will be in the video description. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.